Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Something rather magical has happened to Harrison. 1923's Helen Mirren says Harrison Ford's acting has changed in the last few years, and she thinks she knows why. Helen Mirren opens up about her 1923 co-star Harrison Ford, as she explains how an exchange that she had with the celebrated actor showed how he has changed his attitude and approach to acting in recent years. A prequel set long before the events of Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone series, the Paramount Plus spin-off depicts the Dutton family facing the challenges of a rapidly changing America following the First World War and throughout the 1920s. As 1923 Season 2 approaches in February, Mirren and Ford are set to reprise their roles of Kara and Jacob Dutton, the family's then leaders. As the Wall Street Journal sat down with Ford ahead of his return in 1923 and MCU debut in Captain America: Brave New World, Mirren shares how she has felt working alongside the actor on the Paramount Plus series. While Mirren states that working with Ford on their first project together in 1983's The Mosquito Coast left her with the impression that Ford was withdrawn and reluctant to be the huge star that he found himself becoming, she noticed with their reunion in 1923 that he has become much more open and vulnerable. Mirren then opens up about an exchange during the filming of a bloody scene in 1923 where Ford alluded to him looking like how he did after his 2015 near-fatal plane crash, suggesting to her that the incident shifted his perspective. Check out Mirren's explanation below. While the 2015 incident isn't the only plane crash that Ford has experienced as a pilot, the actor has previously discussed how that particular event has weighed on him. After his vintage aircraft suffered engine failure, Ford was forced to make an emergency landing on a golf course, with Ford being left hospitalized with a large laceration and several broken bones for almost a month. While he has returned to flying, Ford stated he hopes never to go through an experience like it again, and recognizing that it was a difficult period for his family. Furthermore, upon receiving the scripts for 1923, Ford stated that he immediately felt many similarities with Jacob due to how their experiences carried some parallels, including the scene Mirren had described. The scene was something he could emotionally relate to what he and wife Callista Flockhart went through following the 2015 incident. Though Ford may have returned to flying and enjoyed many more roles since, it is evident that his experience has added new weight to how he views certain roles, perhaps giving him a unique perspective. Mirren isn't the only person to have noticed an apparent change in Ford's career across his recent roles. While it may have been a role that propelled him into widespread acclaim, Ford has admitted he didn't want to be limited to being recognized as Star Wars' Han Solo, and wished for a different fate in Return of the Jedi. Nevertheless, the actor returned to the role in 2015 and 2019's The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, adding a new layer to the character with an enthusiastic portrayal. While it didn't meet expectations at the box office, Ford's return in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny offered a fitting farewell to the character, one which Ford had been eager to fulfill. While Ford's enthusiasm with these cases may be partly due to the actor finally being able to leave these characters with the ending they deserve, Mirren's 1923 observations could hint that Ford's new perspective gave him more insight into approaching them. This same level of insight seems to have carried over into his Yellowstone spin-off, with Ford's portrayal of Jacob Dutton affording him the ability to reflect his near-death experience in his work. The strong cast of 1923 also bolsters this approach, as the characters surrounding the ranch's patriarch give him plenty of unique personalities to bounce off of. With life-threatening events always around every corner, Ford's character appears to embrace every day just as the actor himself does. This parallel makes it even more obvious how his views on acting have changed in recent years. February 2025 won't just see Ford return as Jacob Dutton. He'll also be making his debut as Thaddeus Ross in Captain America: Brave New World, picking up the character's mantle after William Hurt's death in 2022. Alongside his MCU debut, he's also expected to return as Dr. Paul Rhodes in Apple TV Plus's Shrinking Season 3. The actor taking on varied roles from superhero to western to drama is emblematic of how open he's become to portraying characters with different layers of depth to them, having no particular preference for what type of movie they're part of. Given the many different roles he's had in recent years and will continue to take, the seasoned actor will likely continue playing varied characters that he wants to bring to life. As for 1923, Season 2 will mark the end of his time as Jacob Dutton, the last time he'll be playing the role whose moments have personal connections to him. However, future career prospects can help fill that void, as he keeps bringing his expertise to new roles in both movies and TV shows going forward. Helen Mirren has known Harrison Ford for a long time. Their paths first crossed in 1986 when they starred together in The Mosquito Coast, a film that tested their on-screen chemistry and gave Mirren a first-hand look at Ford's intense dedication to his craft. Even then, she recognized his signature rugged charisma, a quality that had cemented him as a Hollywood legend. But now, decades later, something has changed, something rather magical. And Mirren thinks she knows why. When asked about Ford's evolution as an actor, Mirren's eyes twinkle with a knowing glint. "Oh, Harrison," she muses, shaking her head with an affectionate chuckle. "He's always been incredible, but lately there's a depth to him that's almost transcendent. He's tapped into something new, and I believe I know exactly what that is." To many, Ford has always been the epitome of the strong, silent type. Whether playing the wisecracking Han Solo, the fearless Indiana Jones, or the steely Jack Ryan, he was known for his gruff delivery, sharp wit, and no-nonsense demeanor. But in recent years, something has softened in him, without losing that signature edge. His portrayal of Jacob Dutton in 1923 is evidence of that transformation. Ford's performance in the Yellowstone prequel is layered, introspective, and surprisingly tender. And for those who have followed his career, it feels as though he's unlocked a whole new dimension of storytelling. "He's always been a movie star," Mirren explains, "but now, he's a true character actor in the best sense. There's something lived in about his performances these days. He's not just playing the role, he's becoming it." Mirren has had the privilege of working closely with Ford again on 1923, where she plays Cara Dutton, Jacob's formidable and devoted wife. Their dynamic is mesmerizing, full of unspoken love, quiet strength, and a tangible history that makes every glance and every word carry weight. According to Mirren, this shift in Ford's acting isn't just a matter of experience or age, it's something deeper. "He's more at peace with himself," she says thoughtfully. "Harrison has always been an intensely private man, but I think he's learned to embrace the moment in a way that he didn't before." She points to Ford's personal life as a key factor. His marriage to actress Callista Flockhart, his passion for aviation, and his love for the great outdoors have all contributed to this newfound serenity. He's no longer just the action hero charging forward, he's also the man who pauses to reflect, to feel, to let the weight of time settle into his bones. And that, Mirren believes, has made all the difference in his performances. "There's a different energy to him now," she continues. "It's not just about delivering the lines, it's about living in them, and I think audiences are responding to that." Indeed, Ford's recent roles have showcased a level of vulnerability rarely seen in his earlier work. His performance in Shrinking, the Apple TV Plus series where he plays a grumpy but endearing therapist, is a perfect example. There's humor, yes, but there's also heart, a rawness that makes his character feel incredibly real. In Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, he brought an emotional gravity to the beloved adventurer that left longtime fans misty-eyed. And in 1923, his portrayal of Jacob Dutton carries a quiet intensity that speaks volumes, even in silence. Mirren recalls a particular moment on set that solidified her belief that something truly magical had happened to Ford. It was a simple scene, just the two of them sitting on the porch of the Dutton Ranch, the sun dipping below the Montana horizon. The script called for a brief exchange between their characters, a moment of reflection. But as the cameras rolled, Ford did something unexpected. He lingered in the silence, letting the weight of Jacob's burdens settle around him before he spoke.